the same time they're moving. Paris.
Yes. You can put your.
No, this is that exactly. Now you're in change. Warte aufhören.
Musi.
No, slowly. Okay. Maybe you get to some fly.
In France. So the first one was that you had to be a man. The second one was that you had to be over 16 years old. The third one was that you had to be at least 1 meter and 65 in height. So that's about 5'5", if you're more familiar with that standard. Also, you had to be in good health. So back then, that pretty much meant that you had to have 2 feet, 2 hands, and a few teeth in your mouth. The feet were marine troops, basically. So they are part. You can see here the anchor. So they are part of the Marines, the naval. We call it in French. So soldiers that were used to the sea mostly, because there's a river here, so they were like water boats. So that's the one thing. The first piece of clothing that the soldiers wear is a shirt, like this, kind of like a dress shirt. It's made of linen, and the soldiers only receive 2 of those per year. So it's white, they have to keep it clean, they have to keep it tidy. They wore a tie, kind of like this. So the tie is either made of linen as well or cotton. And we don't know if there was a specific, these breeches is the name right here. So they're kind of 3/4, very long stockings made of wool. So very itchy, very uncomfortable. Outer layer they would wear is this vest like this. So it looks really formal. That one kind of looks like a suit, but it's part of their everyday uniform. This one is also made of wool, and you can see there's this. It's called an overcoat, and it's once again made of wool. This time it's also a double layer of wool. So you got the gray white one on it. It has 3 sides, and you would wear this. I think it's a colquette. In French it's a cocarde, so it's a I don't remember what that is called.
Ribbon.
A ribbon. Yeah, these black leather,
Cute.
buckle shoes. But the ones the soldiers would wear would be more rounded at the tips. They had to make them themselves with what they found. But at least with those, they could carve a left side, a right side, and they could also put little bits to have something to
Belt.
be able to hold them. So the soldiers would wear this leather belt. On the left side, as you can see, I have 2 openings where I can put different weapons. And on the right side, there's this interesting bag that's actually a cartridge box. So inside you have space to put 9 cartridges. And before we go any further, I'm just going to show you what a cartridge looked like. This one is broken. So the cartridge looks like this. It's I mean, we lost the bullet, but there would have been a lead bullet in this, which is the projectile we want to throw in the air. Then it's filled with gunpowder, which is really inflammable and creates an explosion strong enough to send our bullet into the first touch of red we see. The cartridge box also, as we can see on the picture, would have been red or a reddish color, but this is the sword. But the soldier, so it's a sharp blade with It's also, you can also slice on the sides, but it's mostly pointy. And this was still pretty much covered in forests, so even if the soldier is going to battle, flintstone muskets. Or I think it's flintlock. Yes, we sometimes debate on the English terms of things. I think it's a flintlock musket. And it gets its name from the flint stone it uses to create a spark in the beginning. But the first thing to do with any gun is to check that it's not loaded. So we take the metal ramrod right here, oops, and we let it fall in the barrel of the gun. Excellent. If we hear a metal sound, that's good. That means there is nothing inside the barrel to block it from hitting against the ramrod. So to load our, oh, and you can also see that the gun is very tall. So that's the reason why the soldiers had to be 1 meter 65 centimeters. It's just to ensure that everyone would be able to do the same maneuvers at the same time, pretty much. So to load a gun, the first step is to take the, that is a, I checked it.
Same thing.
It's
The
okay.
hammer.
Yeah.
The hammer. In French, it's chien, which means dog.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make much sense. So we take. I don't think I. Yeah. So right now it's in first position. So that's a safety position. So even if I were to click the gun to fire, I think. No, there was a better term for that. But even if I were to press that here, it wouldn't move. So that's the first step. Then I would take a cartridge from my cartridge box, and that's the moment where the soldiers need a few teeth in their mouth. Both of my hands are busy, so you have to use your teeth to open the cartridge like this, and then they spit it out. Then I would pour a little bit of gunpowder in the bassinet here, the pan of the gun. Yeah, and then so a little bit of gunpowder here, and we close down the battery. Then I put the gun up again, and I would pour the rest of the cartridge inside. So gunpowder, we want the lead bullet to fall in as well, and it's important to leave the paper wrapping inside as well, so that when I ram rod again, so let it fall like this, and you push the cartridge at the bottom, everything sticks together. And if I want to shoot something that's below me or lower than my level, it creates a kind of lid in front of everything. So if I were to shoot someone like this, the paper makes it stick here, so the bullet doesn't just roll away. So once that is done, you can take the gun back in hand, bring the hammer in second position or firing position, and then you can fire your gun with this here. Do you remember the term? No?
The name is the trigger.
The trigger, yes.
Trigger.
Yeah, because you've been so helpful so far. Thank you.
No problem.
So yes. So if I do it, you can look right here where the flintstone meets the battery, and that's where the spark is created, which then puts fire to the little bit of gunpowder we put outside, and that part is connected with a really small hole to the rest of the barrel of the gun. So that's how the mechanic happens. So I'm gonna do it here. So 3, 2, 1.
Click.
Yes,
Oh.
that was a very good spark. Sometimes it doesn't work. And that's also the problem that the French soldiers had back then. So many things that could happen that would cause them to misfire. For example, with the stone could be too short or not placed.
Sandrine, was haben wir gerutscht mit den Baby Cloud?
It's really like a castle because there's a birds flying.